Okay guys, I have waited about 4 months to do this video, and I'm going to explain why. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. This is Speed Addiction RC. Place is a mess. I got 9 different projects going on, plus a new one that just got here. So let's get started with this. This is the Wfly X9, and this is actually a replacement transmitter from Wfly. And the reason for that is I ordered the original one about Christmas. Got it, and the first time, setting up this car actually on it, and it worked great. The screen calibration was a little funky on it at the time. You kind of had to mess with the screen to try to figure out where to hit to get the buttons to respond. Now understand something, I am not blaming Wfly for that. I'm actually blaming Amazon for that. The box when it got here was in really good shape, but Amazon, they like to play football with their packages. But this, so Wfly, I went to their website, I emailed them, didn't get a response. A couple different, give them 2-3 weeks, because sometimes, especially on a new product, things can get a little backed up. So tried a couple times, and I thought, well, when I get back home, because I'm an over-the-road truck driver, I'll deal with it then. I'll see if they have responded. Well, I didn't get a response, so I was kind of getting frustrated, and it was kind of this. I don't, I'm not blaming them, because the thought never occurred to me to look and see if they had like a technical support Facebook group or anything like that until about a month and a half ago. A month and a half ago, I did find that they indeed did have a Facebook group for technical support. They immediately responded. I got a private message from a representative. They had me do a video of the difficulties I was having with the other transmitter, and by that time the screen was completely locked up and wouldn't respond at all. And then they sent me this one. Now I have the old one boxed up to send back to them because they want to look at that to figure out what happened to it. Because from what they have said, they had never experienced that at all. Now they gave me the option of just replacing the screen initially, but then they thought it may not be the screen, so they sent me this one. Now this one is actually functioning perfect. The button presses and everything are working exactly as they're supposed to. So like, here's your user menu. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. Dual rate speed curves. You can set all your curves, your fail safes, channel reverse, sub trim, trim settings, endpoints, throttle, model menu. And by the way, it will hold up to 40. Your servo view, which basically shows you all your channels to make sure you're getting full movement, what have you. Your link is where you go to bind. Okay, so that one's that. Now if you go into the menu, you got your base settings, which basically, again, is the user menu. You got your throttle function. There's your brake return, your delay, cycle speed, trigger points. The dead zone on this stock is at 30. You can turn that down. Your advanced menu, here's your channel settings, throttle off, steering mix, if you have like dual steering servos, brake mixing for you nitro guys. You can do all your ABS and all that on there. Gyro, they are a gyro stabilized receiver. Condition. You know, switch, settings, dual rate, speed, curve, trim setting, all that stuff. Okay, you can turn these on and off. See, they go to green. It's a nice color screen. Okay, program mixing, like if you're needing to mix like a 2 different channels, you got your master, which is steering, your slave, which is throttle, so on and so forth, or you can change it to, you know, channel 3, channel 4, steering, whichever. Tank mixing. If you have an armored vehicle, yes, you can run your tracked vehicles off of this. How cool is that shit? Okay, left 100, right 100, turn it on, and it turns your throttle. Basically, it turns channel 1 and channel 2 into left and right tracks. Okay, dual ESC. If you're running a twin motor like a Haveo, or a twin motor limitless, here's your, you turn that on, mixing on, trim on, and it basically links your 2 ESCs. 4-wheel steering for you crawler guys, there it is. You got 2 different modes, 2 type, 3 type, 4 type. So if you have 4-wheel independent steering, I don't know why you would, but you have the ability. So function-wise, as far as what this radio can do, step for step, it can do everything a FlySky Noble can do. Okay. Price-wise, it's $100 cheaper than a FlySky Noble. You got your little pop-up antenna. It runs off of a single cell LiPo or 4 AA's. Now, I have a battery tray out here, and it uses a JR connector. So you don't have to have any special connectors, any special wiring or anything like that. If you have a single cell LiPo with a JR connector, it'll hook right up. The ones I have right in here are only like a 650 mAh. It's a very small battery. You know, it probably lasts maybe an hour. I need to find a bigger for it. And it's an E-flite, like a drone, like a little mini drone battery. But as far as like binding, here's one of the receivers. This one's for the limitless. It's just, you don't have to have a binding plug set. And if you also noticed on the screen, you know, you got your receiver voltage, external BEC voltage, you know, whatever. I'm not sure what this one is actually. That's your, yeah, it's the, I'm not sure what that one does. I'll have to figure that one out. But then of course you have your top speed. Now this will record the speed. All right. It will remember the last top speed for a particular model. All right. You can reset it. So like there it is. It's got the reset button right down there at the bottom. But you can reset it. Now it is not based off of data entered into the transmitter. It's based off of GPS. This is the telemetry for that right there. It ties directly into the receiver, into the GPS port, which, let me get this, let me take this out of it real quick. Maybe, possibly, if I can get this thing open. I haven't opened this one yet. It's for the limitless, and so I haven't put it in there yet. But there's the receiver. Okay. If you look at it, if I can get a good shot of it there. If you look, GPS is channel number 9. It's this bottom port right there. And that's where that ties into. Now this is the bigger receiver. That's a 7 channel. in there. So you see it has 2 less ports. This is the 9 channel. So this is the biggest receiver that this radio will take. You've got 7 here. Let's see, yeah, 7 there. You've got your 8 is your GPS, and 9 is external voltage, which is what these wires right here are for. I'm just not sure how those tie up. I haven't used those in anything yet. I'm assuming that is for, like, if you have a secondary battery, like powering a servo. If a direct power servo, you can read what that battery is on the screen. So for you crawler guys that are externally powering your servos, that will show you the voltage for that battery on the screen. Okay, that's what that is for. I just figured it out. Now, all of these servos, or all of these receivers, are gyro stabilized. Every single one of them. The 7 channel and the 9 channel are both gyro stabilized. You go into the, back to the, let's see, what was it, menu, advanced menu, gyro mixing. You set that to inside, and there's your gain, your reverse, your switch. You can set it to channel 3, for example. Okay. You know, however you want to set it up. It's some of the way some of the things in here are labeled, as far as in the menus, Wfly could work on, okay, to make it a little bit easier to understand. But overall, once you figure things out and what's what, it's actually I think it's going to be a very capable radio. Range-wise, I'm not sure yet. I plan on doing a range check with it here shortly, just to see how it acts. I'm waiting on a neighbor to come home to help me with that, because I don't want to leave the car sitting by itself. I also need somebody there to tell me if it's moving or not. So I don't know if it's going to need a range extender for speed runs, but if you look at the front of it, it's already pre-drilled for you in case you need to. Okay. And as far as getting access, 2 screws there. That opens it up to where you can see right underneath the antenna. This screw right in here, I believe, is a tension adjustment for the throttle. So you can adjust the tension. If you like a little bit firmer of a throttle, you can do that. I don't see a tension adjustment unless it's in the center for the steering. But these are all of your other channels. They're all arranged around here with channel 3 and being there. You've also got a timer button here, and this is a menu button right up underneath here. Okay. There's nothing on this side. The only difference, I think, if that could have made it better, Wfly, when you see this, because you will see it, is if you had made to where this could be switch sides. So if I was left-handed, I could put the steering on the left side of the transmitter and run the throttle with my right hand. But all in all, it's not a bad radio. I mean, it's light. It's actually designed for a bigger hand than mine. But that being said, I could still run it just about one-handed, maybe. I wouldn't be able to get full steering, but I could. But for somebody with bigger hands, they'd be able to, no problem. And as far as putting a thumb steer on here, I don't think that would be that difficult either. For those of you that like that. I've never tried that, so I don't know. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. During the exchange with trying to figure out what was going on with the other transmitter, I was offered a sponsorship, not necessarily for the channel, but for the speedrun cars as far as transmitters and receivers from Wfly. They wanted to be able to, they asked me if I would be interested in being a tester for some of their new stuff. And I said I didn't have a problem with it, but understand something, if I do that, I am going to be brutally honest. Okay? And, you know, is this a high-end radio? I'm going to be honest. No, it's not. Okay? At least at this point, I don't believe so. I have not run the radio yet, so I can't say for sure if it's as good as a Noble, or if it's as good as a GT5, or if it's as good as a Photon. I can't. Okay? So, brutally honest, I have not run this radio. What I can tell you is that feature-wise, with what this radio is capable of in the programming, it would be a good budget all-around radio. Okay? You know, 40 model memory, 4-wheel steer, track vehicle steering, multiple ESC, you know, dual ESC capability, mixing, all that. You know, it's got the features of the top radios. We will find out how good it is otherwise. Now, I have a high torque servo in this. And, you know, it's not the fastest servo, but we're going to, this will be the first car that runs this radio. So we will find out what it's capable of. I honestly think that, you know, as far as like a speed run radio where you're not really using the steering all that much, you know, too much, as long as the car is properly tuned, it should do all right. We are going to find out. So that will be the next video on the radio. There's also going to be, hopefully tomorrow, because it's kind of, they said that the weather was supposed to be good today, and it's cloudy, overcast, and sprinkling off on and off. Surface temperatures are about 65, too cool for medium tires on both the Fortec and the Vendetta. So hopefully tomorrow will be a good running day. I'm hoping. I've got the motor for the Limitless sitting here. That came in. I've got to still order the ESC, servo, and of course some other stuff for the Limitless. I got the new Canis RC shaft in for the Vendetta. I got to put that in. Luckily, Canis is back up and running. For those of you who didn't know, he is up, running, and machining again. So if you need drive shafts, he's got them. He can make them. I got the new receiver in for the Actual Yeti Score. I fried the MMX6S on the Baja Ray somehow. I've got to get a hold of Castle and figure out what's going on there. I think the internal BEC failed and shorted the whole ESC out. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, I got a bunch of new stuff in for the Baja Ray as well. New servo arms, new parts for the cage, I have a new body for it. I also have Corey Atkins' new tire carrier to put on it. And if you guys have not seen this for the Baja Ray, you want to go to his website and take a look. I'm not exactly sure how this piece is together. I got to get a hold of Corey and find out. I know for sure that this mounts here, and then the tires sit in front of it. I don't know for sure exactly where this piece goes. I think it goes underneath this somehow. Again, I gotta find out. This may even go, I don't know, but I gotta bug Corey and find out how that all goes together. But if you haven't seen his stuff, you will want to go look. Okay, he has got some really cool stuff out for the Baja Ray. That's Corey Atkins, 3D print design. Find him on Facebook. You can find him in the Baja Ray groups. Look at the detail on this. This is 3D printed out of TEG. The other carrier of his that I have, you can't destroy it. And then he's done on this one. He's added the fuel line detail, the radiator, which is really cool. Nice aluminum finish to the 3D printing. That is 3D printed. It's not alloy. You know, the strap to go over the tires. It'll go in here like so. It's a 2-tire carrier still. It does hang out from the back end just a little bit. Acts kind of like a rear bumper, I would say. So I'll be getting that put on as well, since I got to be doing some other stuff to the Ray anyway. Also, something else that I'm testing. These are axles for the Baja Ray. If you notice, there is a pin in place of the C-clip. Now, I'm not going to say much more about them yet, but I am going to be testing those to see if they are a possibility of an upgrade to the basic C-clip axle, which is these. Everybody has always had a problem with those C-clips coming out of the groove and sliding down the axle, especially if you're running it hard and sliding it around a lot. The idea behind these is to stop that altogether, and that the bearings will sit up against those pins. So we'll find out. I'm going to throw those in the Ray as well and test them, and we will find out how that goes. Now, I may have to do a little bit of filing to the pins just to get them to make sure that we got clearance. We weren't too sure on that. I'm working with somebody on those, so we will see how those test out. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. I wanted to get this video done on the Wfly. It's been waiting a while. But if you have not checked one of those out, check one out. If you're looking for just a general all-around maybe basher radio or crawler radio, this might be the one. Like I said, we'll know more once I do some more testing on it. But I wanted you to see it. That way you kind of know what I was using, what it looked like, how it looked powered up, what features it had. You know, for 159 bucks, I'm hoping it's a really, really good radio. And I got to applaud Wfly. Once I was able to actually get a hold of their tech support, they acted very quickly. They only asked for a video of the malfunctioning radio to show what was going on, and then 2 hours later they already had shipping done on the new radio. So really quick. I got to applaud them for that. I kind of wish that the response to their website emails would have been a little bit better. But again, you know, me not knowing, you know, not checking out Facebook as well, that was kind of partly my fault too. I should have known that, you know, like everybody else, they have a Facebook group. So, but once I was able to reach them, it was very fast. Now, I'm not sure why, but I got a bunch of these in. And I'm not sure what in the world I ordered them for. I don't know if it was by mistake or what, but if anybody knows anyone that needs some of these, I got like 4 of them. Give me a holler. Also, I did make an ordering mistake when I was ordering parts for the Baja Ray. I have a set of Super Baja Ray aluminum lower link mount sets from Hot Racing, unopened. If you know somebody that needs them, give me a holler. Plans are, this home time, we're going to try to run the Fortec and the Vendetta after I finish the wire tidying on the Vendetta and install the new drive shaft. We're going to get the Yeti Score trophy up and running, and the Baja Ray, and I'm hopefully going to get some stuff ordered for the Limitless. We'll have to see how the expenses look after tomorrow. But I am definitely replacing the MMX6. That way I can take it back out on the road with me in the Ray. I'll probably take the Axial out with me on the road as well. That way we can get some videos of it, and I can finally start deciding what to upgrade on that and what to leave alone. It's got some upgrades to it already, so I'll have to decide how much further I want to go with it. That's pretty much what's going to be happening. Once I start actually doing work on the Vendetta instead of collecting parts, or the Limitless, there's going to be a good build on that. There's also news coming. I have one of the Relarlo AK917s. Now, Relarlo has said that everybody that has done the pre-release orders, their stuff should be shipping out this week. I believe I'm number 48 in the queue, I think. Now, I've ordered a bunch of stuff from Relarlo, not just the chassis. I've ordered the upgraded suspension pieces, the upgraded motor mount, because I ordered the carbon fiber roller. I've got one of their motors and their 120 amp ESC coming. That way we can kind of test and see what their electronics are capable of. And we are going to put them to the max. We'll see if they'll hold up. Now my plan is to stick to the 4S Onyxes that I have for everything else. That's a speedrun car. So I have set up from them a 4S system. It is one of their upgrade cans, and so we'll see how that goes. But I have a little something special sitting in that brown box. Their motor leaves me short, so we'll see how we're going to see how their electronics do. Apparently, the ESC from them is 120 amp ESC. That motor that's in that box should work. If not, I have another MMX6S somewhere. on this table to push it. But it's somewhere on here. That's a Mamba X. I thought I had another MMX6. Maybe I don't. Anyway, if nothing else, we'll get an MMX6S to push it. I think we also got to get on that, back on that while we're home. That pretty much covers everything other than the mess. Place turned into a disaster real quick when I came home this time. Real quick. Everything just arrived at once. So there's stuff strewn everywhere. Anyway, I'll get this video uploaded. You guys can see what's going on. And we will get to cracking on some of this stuff. Y'all have a good day.